He's super friendly.
It was.
Yeah. He seems like it, yeah. I don't really remember him in school, because I was young. I don't even know if he's been for a couple years maybe. I should look at my annual and see how long he was there. This is kinda odd in here.
They want to separate us.
Leslie said the choir and the band practice here.
The three blind mice.
And today's the day when you do that, you have to go home. Just because of the way that things are set up. And Chrissy go home? I thought he said Heidi did. Okay. Everybody else? Where did Nancy go?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Probably been.
Turn your microphones on. Call the meeting to order of the Florence Florence City Council. And I'd like to stand. If you choose, please join us in the prayer. We pray for the wisdom to make decisions that are beneficial to the people represented here. Empower us to speak honestly, reflect wisely, and vote with integrity. We seek your guidance tonight. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Carroll?
Before I answer that, I would like to say it's kind of nice to be able to hear everyone speak for the first time in perhaps several years. It's been difficult to hear people with our other PA system up there. We'll have that corrected in a few weeks. Having said that, present.
Ms. Chambers?
Here.
Mr. Wynn?
Here.
Ms. Kemper?
Here.
Ms. Wingo? Mr. Osborne?
There.
We have a quorum.
Next item on your agenda is approval of the minutes of the business meeting of June 13th, 2023. Should be in your packets. Do I have a motion to approve? Mr. Nguyen?
Second.
Second, Ms. Kemper. Any discussion?
I have something.
Yes.
In the minutes, I do believe that, hold on, let me find that here. In the section regarding the municipal order MO 112023, I believe that there was a statement that was left out by the mayor that says, to date, no one has done so, referring to no one had applied for those positions. And I think that that should be included in the minutes.
Any other discussion?
Move to approve.
Motion to approve. I guess Ms. Chambers is wanting to make it on record. I was not aware that we had a applicant for the particular board of code enforcement. I know we had been made aware of subsequently that there were some applications I had not seen, so I guess she's wanting to make sure that that's clear for whatever reason. So as amended, is there a motion and a second to approve?
Make a motion as amended.
Ms. Kemper?
With the amendment that
Yes.
Ms. Chambers.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is ordinance 016-2023, adopting the official budget for the 2023 fiscal year. Oh, I'm sorry, 015-2023. An ordinance of the City of Florence, Kentucky, amending the budget for the 2022-23 fiscal year of the city. Amendment number 2. Purpose of this amendment are A, to reflect an increase in general fund, departmental expenditures for the Public Service Department, the Police Department, and the Fire Department. B, to reflect an increase in general fund transfers for water and sewer fund transfers to cover expenses incurred by that fund for projects using the ARPA grant funds. C, to reflect anticipated revenues and expenditures for the Aquatic Center Fund. D, to reflect anticipated revenues in the Golf Course Fund revenues. E, to reflect increases in Golf Course Fund expenditures for wages, contractual services, supplies, utilities, and building maintenance. F, to reflect the transfer from the general fund for the reimbursement of expenses incurred for various projects using ARPA grant funds. And G, to reflect the increase in the water and sewer fund expenses for water purchases, motor fuels, and new service meter purchases line items. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Carroll? Second, Mr. Nguyen. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is 016-2023, an ordinance of the City of Florence, Kentucky, adopting the official budget for the 2023-2024 fiscal year of the city. This ordinance adopts the fiscal year of the 2023-2024 budget of the city, including the general fund, the municipal aid road fund, the infrastructure fund, the asset forfeiture fund, the aquatic center fund, the water and sewer fund, the World of Golf fund, and the health and dental fund. Budgeted resources and expenditures are shown as on Exhibit A. In the general fund, total for appropriation is $97,695,334. Total expenditures and transfers, $48,509,339. For a total budget of $97,695,334. The municipal aid road fund has total for appropriation of $2,198,398. Total expenditures and transfers of $685,000, with a total budget for the municipal aid road fund of $2,198,398. The infrastructure fund, the total for appropriations is $30,302,579. Total expenditures and transfers of $2,315,000, for a total budget of $30,302,579. And the asset forfeiture fund, the total for appropriations is $450,461. Total expenditures and transfers, $200,000. Total budget, $450,461. In the aquatic center fund, the total for appropriations is $2,967,290. Total expenditures and transfer of $1,030,700, for a total budget of $2,967,290. In the water and sewer fund, the total for appropriation is $36,165,282. Total expenditures and transfers is $10,526,958. For a total budget in the water and sewer fund of $36,165,282. The World of Golf fund for appropriations is $9,416,016. Total expenditures and transfers of $2,105,200, for a total budget of $9,416,016. And finally, in the health and dental fund, for appropriation is $17,578,397. Total expenditures and transfers of $3,934,500. And the total budget of $17,578,397. The full text of ordinance 016-2023, including its exhibits, is available for examination in the office of the city clerk of the City of Florence, Kentucky, in the Florence Government Center, 8100 Ewing Boulevard, Florence, Kentucky, during regular office hours. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Mr. Carroll?
Second.
Second, Mr. Osborne. Any discussion? I would just add that we talked about the budget has been being prepared for the last 6 months. We've had multiple open meetings with regard to the budget. We did have a budget workshop that was again open to the public, and we've had first reading already, so this will be the second reading, and it will be final upon the action tonight. So seeing no other discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is ordinance 017-2023, an ordinance relating to personnel, amending ordinance number 02122 relating to personnel policies, job descriptions, authorized positions, and the pay plan. This ordinance makes revision to the job descriptions, pay plan, list of authorized positions, sections, and personnel policies and procedures. The full text of ordinance 017-2023, including its exhibits, is available for examination in the office of the city clerk of the city of Florence, Kentucky, 8100 Ewing Boulevard, Florence, Kentucky, during regular office hours. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Nguyen?
Second.
Ms. Kemper, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is ordinance 018-2023. This was a discussion and possible action. We did receive correspondence from a group, FFRF, and we do need our legal counsel time to review that correspondence, so we will defer discussion. If I could have a motion from council to defer the discussion of this. Mr. Carroll, do we have a second? Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is ordinance 019-2023. This is an ordinance adopting and approving a zoning map amendment for Union Commercial Plan Development, UCPD, to Urban Residential 1 Plan Development, UR1 PD, for an approximate 0.5 acre site located at 2011 Terrace Court, Florence, Kentucky, to allow the development of 6 attached single-family residential units, the Terrace Townhomes LLC. The ordinance adopts and approves the zoning map amendment for Union Commercial Plan Development, UCPD, to Urban Residential 1 Plan Development, UR1/PD, for an approximate 0.5 acre site located at 2011 Terrace Court, Florence, Kentucky, to allow the development of 6 single-family attached residential units. The full text of ordinance 019-2023, including its exhibits, is available for examination in the office of the city clerk of the city of Florence, Kentucky, in the Florence Government Center, 8100 Ewing Boulevard, Florence, Kentucky, during regular office hours. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Nguyen,
Second.
Mr. Osborne, and now we'll have discussion. We'll have Mr. Hunt.
Back behind you. So if you turn your attentions to one of the 3 screens, it's nice to have 3 screens. See where we're at here. To orient you, I don't know how many people are familiar with Bowman Way. So think of west side of Florence where Donato's, Torres Steakhouse, and that Wendy's is, the Walgreens. That's Bowman Way that runs behind those businesses. So I don't know if you can see my pointer here.
just label numbers.
Yep.
Here, that's easier.
So this is the parcel in question, it's just a half acre. Originally, this has went through multiple concept development plans. Originally, this was earmarked for commercial. I think probably if you went back and looked at the 2005 documents when this was originally submitted, the thought was Bowman Way would eventually connect through, probably have a little bit more higher traffic count, so commercial made a lot more sense on this parcel. But Bowman Way has not connected, and to my knowledge, has no, there's no future plans to connect it. Even if you did, it probably wouldn't be a high traffic corridor. So the request is to remove the commercial zoning on it and go with the urban residential zoning. So here's a picture of the actual parcel. This is where if you were standing probably in the back of Donato's, looking back towards Village Terrace, the other projects that are back there, this would be the lot in question. Here is a picture of the product of what they're wanting to do. So really, they're just wanting to do 6 additional townhomes that match the other townhomes that are back there. This is probably this is the actual townhome that's back there. So yep, same type of product. Here's kind of like plain in front elevation, right elevation. So this was recommended for approval by the Greene County Planning Commission. They did cite that it is in line with the Greene County Comprehensive Plan. There was 4 conditions associated with the project's approval. Condition 1, this gave the zoning administrator rights to amend the plan. Condition 2 had to do with sidewalk requirements for Terrace Court. There's some additional sidewalks that'll be poured. Condition 3, they gave the ZA rights to approve changes administratively with landscaping. I didn't necessarily agree with that one. And then condition 4 was another section of sidewalk on Cedar Terrace. So the Florence P&Z committee met, and they have chosen to move forward with the project, or recommend that we move forward with the project with the amendment of condition 1 and 3 from the Boone County Planning Commission. That condition, which the applicant has signed, basically states that the zoning administrator per KRS 100 does have authority to amend plans, but anytime something that goes to Florence City Council, when they review it, they have to come to Florence to get the blessing on that prior to the zoning administrator approval. So that is why that condition was amended. Beyond that, I will open it up for questions.
Any other discussion? All right, we do have a motion and a second. Seeing no other discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, I'd like to call on Josh to give a report on the Electrify America project that did withdraw.
Yeah, so.
I skipped the mayor's report and we're in other, so I'll go back to the mayor's report in just a second.
So originally part of this packet, there was another request to change the concept development plan from a company called Electrify America. And they were proposing to do 14 electric charging stations in the Meyer parking lot, very close to where Tesla currently is. They went through the whole process with Boone County, did the public hearing. It was recommended for approval. And then when it got to us, we got a letter from them saying that they are going to pull their application, they're not gonna move forward with the project. Don't know why, didn't speculate, but regardless, how it works in the planning commission is if council does not act on it, or it's not officially brought up at council and recognized, the concept development plan carries. So if council didn't vote on it, and we never said nothing about it, that concept plan would be approved. So that is why we brought it up. In your packets, you received a memo outlining why they pulled, or the fact that they did pull, the official notice. And I just want to put it on record that they have pulled, their plan is null and void. For anybody to go back through this process and do the same type of product, they have to start over at the beginning.
All right, thank you for the update. All right, for the mayor's report. Our first summer concert was a success. We want to thank everybody who came out to the Florence Mall parking lot, and it was great weather. It's a little cold actually, but no rain, so that was good. The band was fabulous. It was a couple country acts, and they did a really good job. We want you to mark your calendar for August 11th. We'll be featuring London Street and the School of Rock. The school musicians there will be doing our opening act, so it should be a good time. The Florence Police Department, community resource officers, and our volunteers in policing will be at the Florence Dick's Sporting Goods tomorrow, Wednesday, June 28th, from 2 to 4. All are invited to stop by, say hello, and pick up some Florence Police swag. Be sure to get your fingerprint and photo ID for all children provided by the National Child Safety Council. And this can be used by parents and guardians to record and keep fingerprints and dental records of their children in case of an emergency. Do you have anything else to add? All right. City of Florence will also celebrate Independence Day here on our campus. The Celebrate Independence Day event will be July 3rd from 7 to 10 p.m. There will be food trucks, vendors, live music featuring our Florence Community Band at 7 p.m. and our DJ Nick beginning at 8. The fireworks will take place at 10 o'clock. The rain date for the fireworks will be July 4th at 10. And in observance of Independence Day, city offices will be closed Tuesday, July 4th, and the caucus meeting scheduled for July 4th will be canceled. Do we have anyone on council who desires recognition?
Mayor, it's worth noting that our country concert that we had, which was well attended, is something that's sponsored by local business people, particularly Heritage Bank. So that's where the funds come from for getting such things as that before the public.
Mr. Carroll, did you want to report on what you were invited to do this afternoon?
This afternoon, I was up at the Florence Christian Church, and a couple times a month they have food distribution. And it was amazing the number of people that were up there while we were up there. The parking lot is full. They managed the parking lot very well. And then you go through a small interview to find out the number of people that might be in your household, and then they distribute food based on that type of thing. It's grown from the time they started, and they really have a large contingent of people that come out. The Free Store Food Bank, which many of you have heard of, you may think of as a Cincinnati organization, but it actually covers 9 counties, including those in northern Kentucky, and they are a major distributor of the food that is distributed up there. And the food comes from a variety of sources, people like you and me who make contributions to the food bank. And also the food comes from some of the major distributors of food that have surplus. But a lot of the food actually comes from being purchased by them wholesale. And there's a large number of people throughout the greater Cincinnati area that partake of it. They were just recently able to open a brand new warehouse, a rather extensive modern warehouse that will probably serve them well for the next 20 or 30 years. One thing I remember in talking with the people at the food bank, it kind of got my attention. And that's this, that the majority of people that go up and partake of the food, some 70% or more, are employed. They have jobs. And in thinking about the economics of that, it kind of rings to me that a lot of people have jobs that just quite frankly don't quite pay enough money for them to get by. And they have to make a decision on whether they're going to pay the rent one month, or put gas in the car to go to work, or buy the food that they might need for them and their family. And one of the things that the food bank does is they distribute food boxes, if you will, for the weekend for kids. And of course, some of our schools also do that so that kids can get food for Saturday and Sunday. The schools throughout the country, but particularly Boone County, all have a food program in their cafeteria program, and that's available for everyone. But kids only go to school 5 days a week, and of course they have to eat 7 days a week. And so it was nice to know that the Florence Christian Church is really following their belief. That is to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And anytime that you can reach out to your fellow human being and help them in some fashion, that's a good thing. And as I was up there, I observed that the product that they were handing out was actually 2 products. I just mentioned the food that they were handing out. But here's an interesting thing about a lot of people that we sometimes don't realize. A lot of people don't have a large circle of friends. You know, we often say you can count your friends on your fingers, and you count your good friends on your thumbs. And a lot of people don't have enough friends to cover their fingers. I say that to share this with you, that when those people come up there, they're getting food, but they're also getting camaraderie, they're getting interaction with other people. The people that are distributing the food are very outgoing and talking with the ones that are there to get it. And then it kind of loosens up the people that are there to make them feel just a little bit more accessible up there and make them feel wanted. And so I see the product up there really as food and also relationships, camaraderie. And that was very nice to see while I was up there. And I'm not talking about 20 or 30 people. I'm talking about several hundred people. And so it's nice that they're there. And they come not just from Florence, but they actually come from all over northern Kentucky, because they're aware that they can go up there and get some staples. And they specialize in dry goods, if you will, canned goods, things like the pasta that's, doesn't need to be refrigerated, things of that sort. And so I see that Florence Christian Church is like a beacon of light in our community. And that's just one mission that they have. They have several other missions up there to reach out to our community. And, all of us can talk the talk, but not all of us walk the walk. And I was very impressed with what the Florence Christian Church was doing in walking the walk. So I'm happy to share that with you. Thanks for asking me.
Thank you, Mel. I just want to add to that, they have been very active in our community as well as St. Vincent de Paul and other faith-based organizations, Seven Hills as well, and Crossroads. Lots of different organizations have come together in different ways to work with people who are maybe housing insecure or food insecure. And so one of the things that council just passed tonight at my recommendation and bringing this to them was to create a human services coordinator for the city of Florence. And we did do some adjustments of our personnel and pay plan, and that's reflective of that. This new position that we've just created tonight by passage of the budget and the personnel actions that we did tonight. This is a human services coordinator for the city of Florence so that we can work with those people who are already doing work in that space and to pool resources. And we absolutely feel like that we will coordinate with Boone County, who is working in this space with us and alongside of us to address those issues for people who are housing insecure and food insecure. So Boone County has a human services department, and we look forward to our new human services coordinator working with the county of Boone and their efforts there. And again, we have met with multiple organizations since January 1 taking office to address the situation. If you were here to hear my State of the Union, you would, or State of the City, I mean, you would know that I had talked about that this work is not unique to Florence or Boone County. And I think, Mel, you touched on that. These people are coming from all over. And this work is very difficult, and we would just need to continue to be committed. But I think I thank council for entertaining my idea and passing this position. So at this point, any department heads desire recognition?
Sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry. Just council, I just wanted to bring it to your attention and thank Mayor Julie.
Oh, I was gonna call on you.
Oh, you
Are you
were?
gonna talk about the swim team?
Yeah, so
Yes, please do.
she took not one, but 2 nights out of her busy schedule to come out and support the Florence Hammerheads. And I really enjoyed being able to sit poolside with her. She was cheering on all the kids and very interactive with the community, and had a really nice speech. We did a fundraiser, and she was very active with all of that. So I just wanted to say thank you and recognize her for coming out and supporting the Hammerheads.
Hey, they did a great job. And when's the championship?
July 28th.
Okay, so they got a few more weeks.
Yeah.
But that was their last home meet.
That was the last home swim meet. There's a home dive meet going on right now. And that will be next Tuesday and the following Tuesday.
They do a great job, and there's, hundreds of parents that come to these events.
What did you say? It was organized chaos?
Organized chaos, yes, I did. It was organized chaos. They did a great job.
So I
Thank
was
you.
wearing my Hammerhead t-shirt
Today?
the other day, and I'm up at the post office, and the postal clerk said, what are the Florence Hammerheads? And I had to explain to him what it was and such. And he said, well, that's very interesting. My kids would like that. And I said, well, good. He said, well, unfortunately, we don't live in Florence. We live over in Campbell County. I said, well, look over there. You'll find opportunities for your kids to be in swimming activities. And
Yeah, the city
it's
of
nice to be recognized.
City of Newport has a really big team,
Yeah.
so they would be welcomed there for sure.
Awesome. All right, any department heads? No, anyone in the audience? Yes, ma'am, go to the podium.
I have a couple things. The first one is this new person who's gonna be providing services. What what services are they actually gonna be doing? Who are they gonna be working with?
So it's basically any kind of human services, it's not roads and streets and that kind of thing, but perhaps early childhood,
Could you
senior
give me some
citizens.
actual, Can you give me some actual organizations?
So they will be a liaison to different efforts in the community. We have a Boone County Early Childhood Fund,
Okay.
so that is part
So
of,
you,
part of it, so.
what you're saying is you don't actually have the nonprofit organizations lined up yet?
Okay, so we have the Boone County Early Childhood Fund, they will participate with that. We do have a senior center here in Florence, which is run by the YMCA, and Boone County Senior Citizens, so, at the senior center, we'll have them work
But
with
you
that
said-
as
You
well.
said nonprofits, those are state.
Yes, the YMCA is a nonprofit that runs our senior
Okay,
center.
but what else?
So-
You're making it sound like you've got this really broad coalition.
So this is a person that will work with whoever, whatever needs are available, and they'll be able to address those for us. I don't have all of the answers, that's why we're gonna hire someone, so that they can bridge that gap. We do know, again, like Mr. Carroll said, there's the faith community, so we know that that's a piece of this. We do know Mary Rose Mission is in our community as well. We have the Boone County Early Childhood Fund Board, we have senior services. There's different community pieces and partners, and we will work with Boone County Human Services and kind of model our efforts of what they do and kind of learn this. This is new for us, so I would ask that you be patient.
That's fine.
And I ask that you, if you have a recommendation, then you can obviously, send that email to,
I have a second question.
yes.
In regards to the EV charging stations, are you aware that under the Inflation Reduction Act that was passed by the Biden administration last year, they actually have a priority to implement EV charging stations? That section of the act was actually written in part with the auto industry, they've actually agreed to phase out gas-powered cars by 2035. So we need to be promoting as many EV charging stations as possible, because we have 12 years before gas will be a thing of it'll be a thing of dinosaurs. So we need to actually be promoting that, and we need to be building them ourselves and promoting businesses to build them as well, because if we don't, we will not just be behind the curve, but we will not be able to provide people the ability to get to work in 10 years. And so that is something that really needs to be taken into consideration, and I highly recommend the city looks further into the Inflation Reduction Act, because there are many other things in it that are currently not being explored that will help us pave the way into the future. And if we do not take advantage of the Inflation Reduction Act and the new technologies that it promotes, we will be left behind economically. We have to put this infrastructure in now, because 10 years from now, when it's been implemented, will be too late.
So thank you for that, and always anything we can do for the environment, that would be awesome. And obviously, it sounds like, what you're explaining is the mandate, but there's more to it, that, obviously, that we want to be promoting sustainable energy solutions,
Yes,
and that's wonderful.
But it does more than sustainable energy. It has programs to create jobs, so things like the installation of solar panels. It also has money for public works projects of many different kinds. It's a big bill, and I think and it's got a lot of money for local government, and I do think the city really needs to take that seriously and have a good look and a discussion about the Inflation Reduction Act to see what we can get out of it. Because it's a huge amount of money that we're not taking advantage of that will transform Florence into a city of the future and will ensure our economic stability and our economic progress for the next 50 years. So it's very important that we actually do this.
I agree. So what I was going to say was the Northern Kentucky Area Development District is a coalition of different governments, and they are doing some work in this space. They are the organization that receives community development block grants and different fundings. So similar, like what you're saying, they are an organization that funnels it directly to cities and counties. So they're doing some work. So if they're doing some work, And then, I know that Mr. Hunt can probably speak to that. There is some efforts, we've been well aware of this, and there's definitely some efforts going on. There's some businesses who are wanting to sponsor different electric charging stations, and there's a lot of different roadblocks that need to be cleared. But absolutely, I think that's great that you're passionate about that, and I agree with you.
I actually have a friend who teaches a course on the act, and she would be more than happy to come in and actually give you a full presentation, because there is money, it's for local government. The city could be applying for all of this. This could be stuff that is specifically done by the city of Florence. There is money to change the entire fleet over to electric vehicles, which would save us a huge amount of money because it's a fraction of the price. I know this from my own family. My dad has a Tesla. He is a traveling physician. He was spending $400 to $500 a month for his Accord. And now when he got his Tesla, his charging bill is less than $40 a month. So this would be a huge deal to change that fleet over to electric. There's also money for all of the city buildings to have solar panels on the roof, put on the roofs. I have solar panels myself. I don't have a bill right now. It is fantastic, and it would also save the city a lot of money. And so I would be totally happy to invite Brittany to actually give you a presentation at a meeting in the future on the act to see how we can actually, what we can do with it, because she is the expert.
Thank you. Mr. Hunt, did you have anything you wanted to add about, we do have developments, and this is ongoing.
Sure. I mean, we could talk about this all day. It's certainly on the forefront of our mind. One of the things that we're really analyzing right now is from a zoning text perspective. A lot of these electric charging stations are going through long-range processes because that's how the zoning's set up. So we're going to be analyzing doing a text amendment to maybe move those to a conditional use criteria, which speeds up the process, and then also putting in parameters for design criteria. But more importantly, I had a conversation.
They're the size of a parking meter.
I'm sorry?
Correct. We understand, yes, we understand.
And then also had a conversation over the weekend actually with a representative from Duke. And we're reaching out to Duke because they control the grid, right? Which is the most important part of this, is the infrastructure. About doing a master plan. And then certainly when it comes to apartments and different commercial establishments that develop within the city, we're already telling them to earmark conduits to run underground electric because charging is the thing of the future.
Okay, would you guys mind if I did, because it's very complicated, there's a lot of stuff on there. Would you mind if I invited like Brittany to come and actually give a formal?
Let's go ahead and set up a meeting.
Okay, sounds good.
Anything else? All right, entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Nguyen,
Second?
Mr. Carroll, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thanks everybody for coming. Thanks for bearing with us on our new microphones.